That is so awesome. I love that. It came from over there. We'll see if I can't catch that in an edit. Holy smokes, that was loud. The clouds have moved back in today, but that's okay because, well, I still have to nail it off. Kitchen window! And that window is going to come up and be just like the same size as that window, but it's going to be on that corner. That's going to let a ton of light in. I'm thinking that's the Christmas tree location. What do you think? Oh, good morning. It's awesome. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I slept in today. Not that late. But I woke up at like 3:15 and said, forget that. But at 10 o'clock in the morning, I wanted to point out, see how the sun's hitting me right here in the face? That's coming from that direction where the loft is going to be. And there's a couple of big windows in that loft there. So that's the kind of light that I'm going to have in the morning to wake up this time of year anyway. I'll get most of my light during the winter from that direction as well. Today I need to build the final wall. I need to get this done. I want to get it done today so I can get it raised with the guys tomorrow. And then I will have all 4 walls up on the cabin. I've got a week of craziness coming up, mainly because I'm leaving for vacation, heading down to California to see the family for a week to meet my new grandson who's supposed to be born on the 22nd. We know that because it's a C-section. And so I want to get this done today before I leave so that when I come back from vacation, I can go ahead and start on the roof. I mean, hopefully I want to get the loft kind of started this week if I can, get it measured out and everything, but I will definitely, when I come back, be working on the loft, at which point I can then get the ridge beam up over the top a lot easier, having one side that I can actually stand on, and then get the roof on. And from that point, I don't know if I'll get the metal on the roof, but I'll at least get the sheeting on there and get it covered up. From that point, I'll be working in a dry area, and I won't have to worry about tarping all this off every day. It's a hassle. It's really a hassle tarping it off. So that's on board for today. Hopefully I won't have too much noise from generators and that stuff today. I will be using, obviously, the saw, and I'll be using, obviously, the nail gun, but you guys have seen me cut enough wood, I think. And you might see some wood cutting going on today, but I'll overdub that with music. I'm trying to remember not to talk. Wow, what a nice day today. Absolutely gorgeous blue skies. I'm pretty excited about how today's going to be. Who knows, if it dries out enough, I'm going to be able to get a campfire going this evening, too. I should probably point out too that I have a couple of viewers that pointed out the lack of jack studs above the door over here. So I have that actually measured out. I'm going to go ahead and make sure, I have 2 of them laying around here somewhere. I already cut them. I'm going to make sure I get those done before I close everything in. I'm also going to probably take another stud here, run it all the way up and all the way up over on the side there, just to add a little more structural support. And that came from another viewer who said, hey, you might want to add a little more structural support for that because you're in a pretty seismic area. And we are. Alaska gets big earthquakes on a regular basis. So I guess the first thing I'll do is sketch this out, and then I'll put some numbers in. All right. Oh. Very good. So I cut the 19 studs that I need, but I'm not going to cut the other smaller pieces until after I get this measured out and laid out. And the reason for that is because a lot of these studs, well, 1, 2, 3 of these studs, just in this window alone, I don't need full-length studs. So I can cut those down to the sizes that I need for the cripples and, for the bottoms and the tops. And I can get those out of each one of those studs. But I didn't think I was going to make it on lumber, and it looks like I've got, what do I have left here? 2, 4, 5 sticks left of 2x6. Well, 7 if you count the 2 over here that are pretty nasty looking. So a pretty good guess. I just guessed I needed 100. I looked at the original plans and it said I needed 88. And I didn't think that considered the stuff like top plates, the double top plate, and I probably still don't have enough to do the double top plates anyway. So I might have to go pick some of those up, but that's not a big deal. So what I'm doing here is on this bottom one, I laid out the stud, the jack stud, and the cripple on top and bottom. So this is a cripple here on top and bottom, and it's 1.5 inches thickness on the wood. So I'm just putting it in there so that it looks like, you know, when I go to line it up, it'll line up nice and neat, right? Cripple, cripple, and cripple. And I know how many of these I need because I'm standing here looking at that window. And then I don't really need to mark anything else off until I get down to here. And I need to decide where I'm going to put that other window. And I'm thinking that I'm going to put that other window here. All right, so I'll need 1.5 inches here, and that'll be the stud. And then I'll need the king stud. Yep. And then I'll need a cripple right off the bat. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Right there. Very cool. I gotta say, that went a whole lot easier than that first window did. That is for darn sure. That is for darn sure. So let me zoom in with the cell phone camera and show you what we got here. And I literally just finished cutting all of this stuff, and I laid it out as I was cutting it. I didn't want to do these top ones until I took a measurement to make sure that I was right where I needed to be. But spin the camera around for you. So this window, right, I got the base, same height as that window right there. Same exact size, same pattern as that window right there. This I'll actually lift it up to the edge. Because I'm going to side this side of it, so it will look like that when it's done, right? Everything you got there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I continued the king studs all the way up on that one, and then where the seam broke on these, I had the one, and I was just going to nail it in the middle. You know, basically half and half. And Ward actually came by and he said, "No, just throw another stud in there, one on each side." Sweet, that works for me. And then this window is the kitchen window, and this one, because it is kind of an odd-sized window, where it fell was off the line because I'm actually on the outside of this mark here. I'll show you. See that X there? That's where the side I want my stud on. Well, this one ended right here on a full stud, so I just slapped that extra stud right in there as well to make sure that I had all of the studs that I needed. Very happy. It's not nailed off at all yet. I'm going to fire up the, take a break for lunch, and then fire up the generator again and the compressor, get out here with the nail gun and nail this whole thing off. I'm going to try and get it all squared up, and then I'm going to make sure that the front has no bows in it, that it's 100% squared up in the front as well. And then I'm going to sheet it and probably give those guys a call because Todd came by too. And they said, "Dude, if you get it done today, just give us a shout later on this afternoon and we'll come by and give you a hand lifting this wall up." So I could very well have this final wall on today. Pretty excited about that, pretty fired up. This one, like I said, went a whole lot smoother than that one. And I expected this to be a little more difficult because instead of just having the one window, I had two windows in here. And you know, where I could cheat and take all my basic measurements off of this window, off of the wall that was already built, I couldn't do that for that window. And I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. Very cool, very exciting. All right, lunchtime. Okay, so I just finished cutting everything I need for the final wall. I started with 100 2 by 6 by 10s and then 8 2 by 6 by 12s. And I'll show you what I got left. Right there. That's all I got left. Everything there is gone. And I had this stud that I had to cut for length to go in next to the kitchen window. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Oh. It's raining. I knew it was going to today. So I really wanted to get this done yesterday. But it's not raining bad, it's not raining hard, it's not going to stop. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off today. I need to square it up. I need to run the string line and make sure that I'm nice and level on the bottom. And then I need to add basically 4 sheets of OSB to it. And then I can make a phone call to the guys and we can stand this wall up. And this wall will be done. And then all the walls will be done. I'm going to need to pick up 88 feet of 2x6 for the top plate, for the double plate. I used every bit of 2x6 that I had here. So 88 feet, I'll probably pick up 12 footers. Some 12 footers and then some maybe 8 or 10 footers.
just to make it so that I cover all the breaks and the seams that I have in there. 12-footers will be much better to do that with. And now I have to think about rafters and a roof. And I need to figure out the height of the kitchen and the loft. I got a comment on the video putting the first 2 walls up from Russ over at Raspberry Rock Off Grid, asking what the height of the kitchen was going to be. And I'm thinking that I can actually lower the ceiling height in the kitchen because I won't have a ceiling in the living room. By lowering the ceiling height in the kitchen, it'll give me that much more room upstairs, make it a little bit easier to run a staircase up there too. Also, he had a question about why I don't have any windows on that side of the wall, and that's basically going to be the power wall where the staircase goes up to the loft, and then underneath the staircase will be all the power, batteries eventually, a nice solar system set up in there. But I'm also going to use underneath the staircase more than likely to mount my television, you know, in case I want to watch a movie or something like that. Thought that would be kind of a neat place to put it. But he still suggested something about, you know, maybe getting some natural light in on that side as well. I've got some really big windows here, a small window here. Gonna have a couple of big windows up on the top. You know, not big, but tall windows up on the top. And, you know, thinking about that, I could probably slip in a decent couple of small windows over there. Maybe going up the staircase. I'll have to look and see if I can't find something like that for a reasonable price. But I don't have to do that right now, right? I can go ahead and I can get everything else done and do that down the road. But that's not a bad idea because I get a lot of sun that comes up that way. And basically during the summer, the sun starts over here and works its way around to here and then works its way around to there. And that's why we have such long days here in Alaska, because of the tilt of the earth. During the summer for us, we get really early sunrises and really late sunsets. We get to a point where oh, hello, Mr. Robin. We get to a point here where we only have like 2 or 3 daylight, or 2 or 3 hours of daylight. So it would be nice to do that, but in reality, I also like the fact that it's not going to be overly bright inside during those times of the year. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Having a slow time starting this morning. I was up at like 3:30, 3:45 this morning. But I was sore, and I was sore because the frustration that happened yesterday when I had to break free all those nails, and I got angry, and I tried to act like I was 25 years old, and now my shoulders and my arms and everything hurt this morning. I feel better now. I'm all stretched out. Let's get this started. Okay, so we went over this before. I'm trying to measure to make sure that I'm in line on the bottom of this. By theory, if I'm in line on the bottom, I should be in line on the top when I'm done. So you grab a couple of blocks, pull it out, put one at each end, and then check it. Just the one thing I screwed up on, and I'll give you guys a heads up on, is make sure your blocks are the same thickness. So I made sure that I grabbed 2 that were soaked, and then I put them side by side to make sure they were the same thickness. So what I'm looking for here... Do I have my glasses? Oh, I don't have my glasses. I'll have to go grab them. What I'm looking for here is, looks like 1 inch and 5/8 all the way down. The other thing I'll check here is when I laid this out, I laid it out for this one to be 48 inches on center. Come on, get over there. Which I am. This one right here. So that will be the start of the first sheet. And then I'll do 4 sheets, so that's actually going to start on my window. Before I do that, I want to nail that other one off. That'll be pretty quick and easy to do. Then I'll get the sheets on here and start nailing things. So 4 sheets is all I'm going to do, and I just have to remember that the lines go on the inside, or go down. And what I mean by that is, let me show you. See those lines up there on the back of the board? Yeah, when I did this the first time, I put the sheet on backwards on that wall. So I'm not going to do that this time. That way I've got the same side sticking out. All right.
like sometimes I'll get parts from lawn stores, and I give credit. I give those to the third, and I give credit to
Oh, nice.
do that. Yeah.
Don't have my hammer.
There's some blocks over there behind you.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have to knock this kicker off here.
Yeah, I'm just kicking back, watching TV and playing games. Just waiting for him to give me a chow. Is that gonna hit it?
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Yeah. Pull this.
Huh?
This. Oh, it's out of our way. This one too, eh?
Yep. I just actually put those back because I had to take them off when I was doing this.
Oh. Yeah, you nailed the pisser out of them trimmers.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
You don't need that many.
No, and that's the one that I screwed up.
Oh,
And that's the one that I had to take.
that's why you need a Sawzall.
Yeah. You know what? I actually thought, and this is why Ward says Sean needs a Sawzall. Because Sean does that kind of stuff. You know, I'm like, oh, I was so mad, dude. And then the top up there, I don't know why. I just laid it out completely wrong above the header. And I'm like, and I didn't do it once, dude. I did it twice in a row. And then I just said, I walked away. And I just went and sat down for a couple of minutes, had a root beer. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be kidding me.
And believe it or not, I even haven't had a beer today.
Wow.
So I might be a little bit mellow.
Nice.
Todd's over there laughing. Oh,
That nail was just to hold it in
Oh.
place when I was. You can pull that nail out of it. I couldn't get that center to stay when I did the string line. It just kept wanting to go back a
Yeah,
little bit, so
yeah.
I just kicked a nail into it and shoved it in there.
it's okay.
Got the torque.
What's that?
I said that's just to let the air out of the tarp.
You got a couple of bolts up here? Nails.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be we're going to do the same thing, just hand nail it.
Right, just tap
And
it
then
in
we can
place.
just,
And
yeah,
then I'll go in and I'll get the clamps and I'll
do what you got to
do what I
do.
gotta do to get
Yeah.
all clamped in and nailed in.
You ready?
Ready?
Where you want to be on the bottom?
You know what? We could probably pull it back just a hair, Todd. Yeah.
I actually wanted to make sure we didn't have to move it forward so far back. So I put it up front.
All you had to do is measure 5.5 inches and would have ran with it.
That was not happening. That was not happening.
We ain't moving. Now we should be able to move a little bit. You ready? Hold on. We don't have to move it much.
Probably pretty close.
We're good. We'll probably have to kick it in once we stand it. But yeah. Hold on. I have to adjust. Right. Yeah.
Todd's over here.
Todd, me and Sean have to adjust. We don't have suspenders, so you don't have to
I
adjust.
wear these for other people's benefit, not mine.
Right.
He's not a professional plumber, but he plays one if he doesn't wear suspenders.
Right.
This would be a mechanic.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh, I ran out of order.
You got it? Where's the El Sluggo?
You got it? Hang on. Right there. You want big one or little one?
The big one. We're gonna have to kick it in a little bit, Todd.
Yeah, I'm pretty close here.
My hand's out. Are you flush there?
I'm pretty close, yeah.
Okay. Somewhere it's bouncing. You gotta go back a little bit farther. There you go. Hit it again. That's nice. Where's the clamps? Just clamp it. You don't have to nail the top plate. You can just nail it right up on top there. So you're not beating everything else but the nail, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Show Lightning who's boss. Put your braces up.
Same thing as I did over there? Is that right or not?
Exactly, just like that. That'll
Okay.
work.
Cool.
And that brace you had here is a good idea because this thing can go, this needs to come in a little bit.
Okay.
So
So use that to get it level when I pull it in?
plumb, yeah.
Okay,
plumb.
to get it plumb and do the same thing
Yeah.
on that wall?
Yeah,
And that one needs to come in a bit or go
that
out?
needs to go out. Just a hair. Push it out a little bit and go.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Very cool.
I don't know what this one is. Check that one.
Well, that one needs to come in. That one needs to come in quite a bit.
Yeah, just you got that brace nailed off. It takes 2 people to do that, but today we just get the walls up and then. Okay, so now we've got the walls up. We'll get everything plumbed up, and then we'll streamline the top on both sides.
Oh, okay, same thing, and make
Just
sure
like
you don't.
we did the floor and the walls. So we do the same thing down both sides and have these string lines, so we know that our walls are 1.5 inches, you know, dead on the money all the way down,
Okay, cool.
just like that.
So we do it here and we do it on the ends as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that's when I nail it off with the top.
We'll
one?
just plumb this wall and this wall,
Okay,
but we won't use a 4-foot level. We'll use a plumb bob
Okay.
and make that right.
okay.
Cause you could, I mean,
I have a plumb up.
yeah you do.
Yeah.
In 4 feet, in 4 feet you could be, I mean,
Yeah.
it might say good in 4 feet, but in 10 feet you're still playing with 6 feet here.
All right, the fourth and final wall is up and nailed off. nailed the supports off on the inside. I still have to put the center support there. But do you notice something that's not quite right here? Well, I wanted my kitchen window here, right? And so I said I have it at 48 inches in height. And then my countertop's going to be here, but it's probably going to be closer to 36 inches in height. Normally they're 32, but I don't like working down below me like that. I want to be right here. But I'm going to have a loft here. And Ward noticed right off the bat that window is going to be taller than my loft, which is okay though, because the window that I had planned for that, today I was taking a look at it, it was damaged in the way that so it's a crank window, so the two pieces on the top and the bottom of the window that keep it in a track when it opens and closes, I needed to repair those. So I was looking at it yesterday, I pulled it off the stack, and apparently that window has a leak in it because there's a bunch of water in there and I couldn't get it out anyway. So I'll go to Home Depot and buy a smaller window because I really don't need one that tall. You know, if I can get a window about that tall, I'll be good to go. I'll be super happy with that. And I can make it fit with the existing framing that I have. I'll just go ahead and run some studs up and tie it all in. But I'm very, very pleased, very happy. I have 4 walls on a cabin. On a project that, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I still wasn't sure I was going to be able to do even this year. And even with all the rain, what are you guys yelling about out there? Okay, so you laid an egg. Even with all the rain and everything else that I've had to deal with so far this year, things have kind of come together when they needed to come together. So yesterday was a beautiful day. I got this whole wall framed up, but I didn't get the siding on it because it was just a nightmare trying to get it even framed up right. Just problem after problem after problem, and it was all because I was tired. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to rush that whole thing together so that I could get the OSB on it and maybe get it stood yesterday. As it was, when I laid the OSB out on it today, it was perfect. And even though we had rain come in this morning, it's just sprinkling lightly now. It's not a big deal at all, as you can tell. I've had the tarp off of the floor for most of the morning, and it's not really that wet except when I pulled the tarp back over again. But yeah, everything kind of came together all at once. I can't thank Todd and Ward enough. Super, super awesome. Todd for his help and Ward for his advice and keeping me on track and asking me 3 or 4 times, are you sure you want to do it that way? Are you sure you want to do it that way? All right, I'm going to finish this all up, but I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm Sean in Alaska. The next part of this project is going to be the support beam for the loft and getting the loft built, because that'll make it much easier to get the ridge beam in place when I get ready to throw the roof on here. But yeah, very excited, very fired up. Wonderful, wonderful day.